Welcome to Shoot Time in the morning with Mitch. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Shoot Time in the morning with Mitch. We are back in full effect. All right, we have a lot of things going, and it's been a week now plus since we've had people back. And some people say they still like being at home. Some people say they miss being with their friends. Some people say that they like being at school, but there's a few things they miss about being at home. It's all over the board. So far, in my class specifically, but I think it probably would carry over to the other classes, the two top things that they said the students were here missed the most, well, three actually, if you carry over one, third one that actually came up a couple times. First one, what do you think it is?
Me.
They miss seeing Mr. Mitchell in the Mitch and seeing the sports factor.
I would say the second thing is me.
And the third thing's got to be me. No!
Because it's all about us. You know, it's all about us.
The number one thing, ladies and gentlemen, that came up the most for the most amount of students is, you guessed it, no, you did, food. Now, kids were at home. Just like we're at school now, you're at home right now. If you're at home right now and you're hungry, you just pick up your computer, walk down to the fridge. What do we have for dinner left? Oh, we got steak and shrimp. Woo! You're there, come back and eat. Tear it up. Gotta love it. All right? Now, did a survey too, sample survey. About 70% of you guys said that either frequently or at least often while you're in your computers watching whatever class you're in, that mom, dad, occasionally a big brother or sister will drop off a snack, a treat, or some food for you. You look up and, hey, there's some food. You're in class, you're eating, doing your thing. Furthermore, you can eat during class. We're not going to yell at you through the screen there. It doesn't matter. You eat as long as you're working, you're good to go. The big thing was food. Now, everyone here, especially if you're eating sandwiches, not quite the same, or if you're getting food from the cafeteria, which some of it's good. The parfait is pretty darn good. The Asian salad is pretty good. Most of it, well, go team, you know, go team. So, saying that to say, food number one. Number two, sleep was the big one. All right? Sleep being the kids that come here, most of them said they had to get up about an hour or an hour and a half earlier than they were used to getting up, because most of you guys said that you wake up anywhere between 30 minutes to 5 minutes before 8 o'clock and just jump online because you're in your room. Big difference there too. Matter of fact, in the chat box right now, write, what time did you wake up this morning? Just humorous. What time did you wake up this morning? And the number three thing that's driving people wild is, at home, you're around your family, your loved ones, you're in your room, you didn't have to wear a mask everywhere you went. That's the triple whammy. So, there's trade-offs for both. We love you, all right? Be safe out there, like we're being safe here. But you guys aren't getting the interaction with humans like we're getting here, and we're not getting the extra sleep, the extra food, and the ability not to have to wear a mask, and the comfort of sitting. Look, I don't like this chair. Well, that's what I got, right? You don't like the chair in your room? Well, you go to the couch, right? Or you go and get a different chair, all right? You're in your room, so you might even put your feet up on your desk because it's your room as long as you're there, whatever you're doing. I'm a realist. I know you're not supposed to, but you're your own right. You make the rules in your room. Hey, I understand. So, understand both of us have different challenges, but at the same time, you got a lot of responsibility in your hand, so you have a lot of freedom and responsibility, and the balance should be about the same. All right, do the things you want to do, but do the things you need to do and have to do first. We've been getting some good stuff in here. We get a lot of relays in, different games in, competitions going, and woo!
You're out.
Waaaarball is what we've been going down to go with. So remember, we talked waaaarball last time. Catching, going, throwing. All right, and now we're going to talk a little bit about rule or strategy rather, and then mainly just being honest and respectful and responsible. We're using the scope of waaaarball. All right? So, if I got a waaaarball,
That's a headshot.
wait for Mr. Mitchell. I've been hit, and I'm about to go out, I look.
Nobody's watching.
I'm thinking, but I saw that. I'm going to stay in the game. And then you get a that's Mr. Whistle. That's Mr. Mohamed's whistle. All right, get that. Boop. Hey, look, you. Hey, did the ball hit you? No. And what do you say to someone in that situation, Mr. Mohamed?
Well, if you get hit, you know, here's what we do as teachers. We are watching the game, and we see something happen. We see it, and before you look at us, we're looking this way already. We already know what happened. And you're thinking, go ahead, hit me. Oh, right there. Oh, man. And then I start going out, and I go, oh, Mr. Shoemake, Mr. Mitchell, Mr. M's not watching, okay. And I'm back in the game. We'll give you, 3, 4, 5 seconds to get out by doing the right thing. If you don't, blow the whistle. And then we make a judgment. We ask you the question, hey, did you get hit? Some of you were in the habit of lying, which probably is a percent of them. You get away with a lot of stuff because you lie. No one holds you accountable. But we're going to hold you accountable.
You're going to sit.
So what happens, Mr. Mitchell, if someone gets out, we see it, we call them on it, and they still deny it?
They're sitting. We're going to sit them down like a penalty box, like in hockey or something like that, like high stick. This is called big time lying. Sitting for like 2 minutes, at least 2 minutes, and we're going to sit there, and you're going to sit right next to me, and I'm going to just sit there, I'm going to look at you and go, really? You really got hit like 19 times, and you're saying that you didn't? Really? That kind of stuff.
And 2 minutes is a full game, guys, so you would sit out for the rest of that game, and an additional 2-minute game. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, if you get hit, get out.
And we're pretty adept at telling. Look, here's the reality. Sometimes, if the ball hits the guy before it hits you, okay? And you can have some people say, well, no, it hit right before it hit me, and it's a judgment call, and we'll make the judgment call on that. We say, well, we think it hit you before you go. And sometimes, the ball comes and might hit somebody else and skim your shirt or skim your leg and hit you. You don't really feel it. That does happen. You get a light when you didn't feel it. Okay, there's a difference between that, and I've seen some blatant ones.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen people get hit. Their head goes down, they walk over, they look. Oh, no one's off. Oh, I'm going back in. And you know what? That's not really fun for anybody because then it's like the rules are set to one side. You're never going to lose because guess what? You guys are indestructible.
Yeah.
The team going down.
Nobody ever goes out. In fact, my son used to play waarball at Union Mill, and he said, Dad, the games were lousy. I said, why? Because there were no teachers referenced, so anytime anybody got hit, they never went out. And they said the game stunk because of that reason. And I'll tell you something else. When you get hit like 4 or 5 times in a game and you don't go out, it's not just us that see it. The entire sideline of whoever's not playing in the game sees it also. And they're all going to be screaming at you and looking at you. And you're going to get a wreck. You're going to get a wreck as a person who like, their sportsmanship is terrible. They lie when they get hit and they don't go out. And you don't want a rep. You don't over a silly little game like this. You don't want a reputation as being a person who's a liar or whose sportsmanship is terrible. You don't want that.
I gotta tell you, he's absolutely correct because you guys don't realize that you're 12, 13, 14 years old. You get a rep for that, it's gonna follow you. Saw people when I was 23, 24, 25. Like there's that guy that always cheated on the post. There's the guy who always did that.
Yeah.
It just it's an impression. And in reality is you get an impression of somebody. And you see him, you haven't seen him for 10 years, you go, that's the first thing that comes back. Ah, you, okay. I know you dirty dog. So,
and it's not just war. How many times do you play basketball? You play some guy's always call him foul even when he doesn't get fouled.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. So it's every sport. That's why they call it sportsmanship.
Indeed.
And your reputation will follow you like night follows day. It will follow you to language arts. It will follow you to science. So here's the thing: you're in waarball, and Mr. Mitchell throws one. Boom! I dodge it. It's a great dodge. It's a great dodge. Boom! I dodged it. I did not get hit. But the sideline saying it's close enough. You got hit. You got hit.
Ooh, that was good.
Well, when it comes to Mr. Mitchell's ears or my ears or Mr. Shoemake's ears, what do you think we're going to say to you? You're out. Why? Because your reputation.
Right.
If you have a reputation for cheating, when you don't cheat and you're accused of cheating, you're probably going to get the consequence of cheating. Why? Because your reputation. So, your reputation will follow you like night follows day. Right? It will follow you. And it's hard to change a bad reputation. That's why it's important to protect your reputation. And it starts as something as simple as waarball. Be honest, respectful, and responsible.
Right. And, you know, I didn't plan on going that deep into reputation home, but it's a perfect example. Look, guys, gals, if you have the reputation for being a knucklehead, and everybody you know knows you're a knucklehead, but someone else has a reputation for being just a wonderful kid, it doesn't matter if you guys are both in the room and the other person did it. And we say, hey, you know what? Two people went in the room. It was Johnny and Jimmy. Johnny's great, but you know, I went in and you know what? The speaker was missing out of the room, the little portable speaker. You know, I just don't think that, you know, this guy's a good kid, he didn't do that. The other kid's a knucklehead. So one of them did it, it's got to be the knucklehead. And that's not saying that we judge in that fashion, but everybody comes to that conclusion. Where one kid's a perfect kid, he always does what he's supposed to do, and the other kid is just a knucklehead. So it doesn't matter right or wrong, that's the assumption that gets put on you by society. So counter that by just doing the right thing at all times. And you don't have to worry about it. And that doesn't mean you gotta go around being, you know, holier than thou or kissing people's backsides. Just be an honest, respectful, responsible person. Lead by example and have a good reputation going into it.
Yeah, just consistency. Just be consistent. Guys, reputation is hard to restore once you lose it. Very difficult.
It is, and even people today, it's like I golf a lot, and I'm playing golf, and I play with guys who like, they're the nicest guys in the world. We laugh and we have fun, and for 4 hours we're playing golf, and we're giving each other high fives, and we're saying great shot, great shot. And I play with other guys, even at my age, who they make a bad shot and they're cursing and they're screaming and they're throwing their clubs around and all kind of stuff. And I don't play with those guys after one time. I'm like, why would I want to play with you?
Please come to student services.
Hi, Bianca.
Covarrubias.
Oh,
Please
right.
come to student services.
So as I'm saying,
Thank you.
why would you want to play with somebody who non-stop is like a yeller and a screamer and a whiner and a complainer?
No, it's not fun for anybody.
Why would you want to play with that person? Never.
Yeah, and remember, guys, competition doesn't necessarily build character, it reveals character. When things get turned up, the heat gets turned up, how you respond, it's who you really are at the core of your being. When things go wrong, how you respond, that's your maturity level. Anyone can do the right thing when things are going smooth.
Absolutely.
Anything. It's when things go wrong, how you respond. That's who you truly are. So think about it. This got deep quick, guys, but it's worth it. All right, guys, I have a question for you.
Sir.
What is one thing that most people don't know about you? What's one thing that most people don't know about you? This would be interesting for the students to know. Mr. Mitchell, what do you think? One thing about you that students wouldn't know unless you told them.
I got a titanium left knee. My knee is titanium. That's right, I said titanium. I'm bigger, I'm faster, I'm stronger. I'm like the $6 million man. I've got a knee that you could whack with a hammer and I wouldn't even feel it.
If you've never seen that show, $6 Million Man, can they get that on YouTube or something?
I think you could.
I think it's on there, sure.
It's on somewhere.
You gotta watch one episode. At least one. At least one. Mr. Shoemaker, what about you? Some students wouldn't know unless you told them.
I'm really 7,000 years old. I just work out every day.
It's true, he's the mummy.
Now, on a serious note, there's a lot of things going on. I don't know what would be interesting for you. I guess one thing would be that I'm trained to fly airplanes. When I was in college, my initial major was aviation, and I wanted to be a pilot. And you know, I fly airplanes. I have worked on commercial, but my private pilots and all that, and everything's good to go. So I like flying airplanes.
Indeed. One thing you might not know about me, I may have said it in another video way back when, I don't remember, but when I was 12 years old, many of you are, I had a really bad ingrown infected toenail. And my parents and my brothers and a couple, general practitioners at Kaiser Hospital just said, just pick it up and put some cotton under it. Some of you, there's got to be one person out there that has had an ingrown infected toenail. Holy moly. It was just so painful. So painful. So finally,
the kidney stones?
when it got hit, yes. It was acute, quick, sharp pain. Finally, I had surgery on it. Went in, shot me up, waited 5 minutes, clip, I'm not kidding you, clip, boom, pulled it out, showed me, bandaged it up. That afternoon I went out and practiced football. The pain was gone.
Yeah.
Amazing. If you've never been in someone's shoes, you just don't know what it's like oftentimes. Sports Factor, what's on your mind?
What is on my mind? You know what's on my mind? The NFL draft.
Yes.
Oh, baby.
The NFL draft is in like less than 2 weeks. Alright, so, my question. What number pick are the 49ers? And who are they going to pick? What position? What player? Now, the player you might not know because there's a few of them that are being bandied about. But the position you should know. And the pick number you should know.
And they need a lot of picks, Mr. Mitchell. They were not good last year.
Now, they were hurt, my friend.
A lot of injuries.
They were really hurt. I think they're going to be back this year.
If you don't have the horses to pull the cart doesn't go far. Jolly Geographer.
I'm just hoping that the Niners don't take the Steelers pick. I think it was the running back. There's 2 running backs from Alabama and from Clemson. Just leave us one. That's all I ask. I don't know who they're going to pick. But hey. John Geographer Land coming at you here. Geographic style. We're talking sports. Football is the sport here. The Jolly Geographer has a question for all you wonderful Broncos out there. And that question is, what is the largest football stadium in the country, which also happens to be the largest football stadium in North America, which also happens to be the largest stadium in the Western Hemisphere, which also happens to be, if you go by the correct Googleinos, the 2nd largest stadium in the entire world. So what is the largest football stadium in the United States?
Excellent. Excellent. Guys, I went to the airport. Bad news. I'm going to sue the airport.
Why is that?
Well, they misplaced my luggage.
That happens.
I lost my case. Yeah. Real quick principle, guys. Remember to spend time with friends, or you'll have none. Really simple. Spend time with friends, or you'll have none. Invest time wisely with the people you love most, starting with your family, but also friends. So invest time with friends, or you'll have none. Reminds me of a song.
Friends, how many of us have them? Friends, ones we can depend on. Let's be Whoa! What is going on here?
Still building healthy relationships.
What's the purpose of Red Art?
HR squared.
Honesty,
respect, responsibility.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, just be the best you that you can be every single day and try to be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. And keep on pushing. Push on 3.